Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
But hey,
Yeah.
one thing. I told you I wanted to talk about the Canes. Unfortunate end of the year result. But again, I look forward to the upcoming season. We do have Ruben Hurricane Bain that won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Some latest news is that Miami flipped a few individuals, some that was committed to Ohio State. I'm hearing rumblings of a few more things that may actually happen in the positive side. One unfortunate situation, Kobe Young. I don't know why he transferred. Some individuals may say it's because of NIL. Some may be like he don't know what the quarterback situation is going to look like. I don't know. Ultimately, I think that they did target him a lot. And if they didn't target him, we do know what it was. It was damn TVD who actually committed to Wisconsin. He looked like a Wisconsin guy, to be honest with you. He looked like a guy that should have been in Wisconsin.
Look like a Wisconsin guy.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying Wisconsin is great.
Van Ginkel, who plays for the Dolphins, went to Wisconsin, and his name is Van Dyke.
Yes. Oh my God. but yeah, you have that. I just kind of, it's been a while. I want you to kind of chime in on the Canes right now, because outside looking in, like me, to be honest with you, I don't know what direction we're headed. I know we're headed in the right direction, but again, we have our two safeties declared for the draft. We have a lot of individuals that actually transferred. Corey Flagg. But I was not really too thrilled on Corey Flagg. I know you liked him a little bit, but I really didn't like him too much. You have what's his name? Francisco Kiko, as they call him, Kiko. Which one? Kiko.
Yeah, Kiko.
All right, so Kiko's coming back, and I think that's a good thing, because he could have been like maybe a first or a second round pick. How high he was, his draft stock was, because I think he was probably like top 5 linebackers in the nation. I don't know. You could probably clarify that for me, but me as a fan and you as an actual analyst, a journalist, always with these players. I just want to know what we doing, because again, at the end of the day, Cohen going to the draft, Matt Lee going to the draft. Before this positive trajectory that we were talking about, we were not knowing about the O-line. The O-line was trash. That means our quarterback was trash. That means our wide receivers couldn't get any separation because you had no time. Think about that when you think about Tua, Marcus. But I'm just saying, I know we got Pancake Honcho somewhere around. I know there's like a 6'8" individual that committed. I don't know if he how do you like that guy? Because I seen that he's kind of committed, but I haven't looked at it.
Oh, he's committed. Markel Bell is committed. 6'8" dude. He can move too. Looked at his tape. It's not like, because that's always the worry, like, oh, he's big, but he's a statue. But nah, he can move. The offensive line is gonna be good, man. Just like how it was last season. I mean, to be honest, Wes, you've been watching the Hurricanes probably as long as I have. And I don't remember the offensive line playing as well as they did last season since they were winning championships in the early 2000s. So that's going to continue, because that's been kind of the foundation of this team, being that Mario Cristobal is an former offensive lineman himself, who has won championships as a player. And he brought his offensive line coach in Alex Mirabal, who continues to develop players. The player who won the best center award this year was played for Oregon. That's a player that Alex Mirabal developed, recruited. So he's got a resume of developing offensive line, and this offensive line this year was fantastic. And you lose, though, 2 big components in Matt Lee and Javion Cohen. Who's going to be the center? That's going to be an interesting question going forward, and who is going to move over to that guard spot. Likely, it's probably going to be Matt McCoy, who has played, intermittently. And this Cooper's obviously coming back. Francis Malinois obviously coming back as well. And then you got Samson Okunlola, Pancake Concho, and a bunch of other guys. Tommy Kinsler is a guy that I liked a lot from last year's recruiting class, who hasn't really had a chance just because the line has been so great. Got some guys coming in from this recruiting class, like I mentioned, Markel Bell. So the O-line is going to be good, man. Pretty much every position group, Wes, is pretty much good. Linebacker, you're pretty much good. Defensive line, you're pretty much good. You mentioned Ruben Bain. This recruiting class has 8 players coming in. You got 8 3, 4-star. Well, almost all of them are 4 stars. You got the 1 5-star Justin Scott, who just flipped from Ohio State, and a 3-star and Dalen Russell from Miami Columbus, who probably could be a 4-star as well, because he plays defensive end at Columbus, won a state championship last week, and also can play inside. So I put out a story today that this is the best defensive line class in the history of the Miami Hurricanes since they've been tracking the star system. So since 2002, this is the best class that they have, and they might, hint, hint, wink, wink, they might add another player. I can't reveal that information, but if you've been following me and you've been going to CanesCounty.com and you've been on the message board, you have a good idea of who I'm talking about. So this defensive line class is going to be amazing. Jason Taylor, bro, has been the guy who has been making this happen. You hope that he stays for more than next year. Let's see how everything goes. Because coaches
went to Central. He should have. He went to Central. I know who you're talking about. His ass, like, you should have just stayed committed to Miami instead of going ahead and committing to FSU, because your ass know that you're gonna come and stay back to the crib. So I know that's who you talking about. You feel me? Because I've been following it, and they've been talking about it on 560 and other platforms as well. And his last name start with a B. I'm gonna just but again.
But yeah.
That's the guy.
We gonna keep. Yeah, you said enough, and we'll see how that all unfolds. Definitely, Canes. I'm very close to the situation, so just definitely follow me on what happens next week. Because signing day is actually next week already. Okay. Next week, Wednesday. So you lose your safeties though, man. You lose Cam Kinchins and you lose James Williams. Cam Kinchins is projected to be the first safety taken in the NFL draft. James Williams is likely to be the 5th safety taken. Javion Cohen, I think, is the 3rd highest guard, and Matt Lee, I think, is the 5th highest center. And then Leonard Taylor is also gone as well. I think he's the third highest defensive tackle. So those guys were definitely great contributors, but like I said, I think Miami's in a good place. The only position group that I'm really concerned about is safety, because it's going to be tough to replace a Cam Kinchins and a James Williams, especially the big jump that James Williams made this year. Cam Kinchins has been pretty solid his whole career. So losing those guys and going to, a Markel Williams, Markeith Williams, and his name is
Zaquan Patterson.
Zaquan Patterson, he's going to be a freshman, so it's kind of hard to project that he's going to jump in and just be great automatically. He's more of an inside the box type of guy, just like James. You know what I'm saying? He's not really the ball hawking type of safety. So I think you're missing kind of that type of safety. So I worry a little bit about that. But next year at corner, you likely going to have Darryl Porter Jr. again, who's been really good until he got hurt. And then you got Damari Brown, who was played locked up Keon Coleman in the FSU game for the most part as a freshman. So the sky's the limit for that kid as well. I'm anticipating that Devontae Brown is probably going to transfer. That hasn't come out yet, but I do think that will happen. To Corey Couch is also maybe a possibility that could transfer out. Jaden Davis obviously is a senior, so he's off to the NFL. So there's going to be some opportunity at corner. I think Jadias Richard is probably going to step into that role, but I think they get someone else in the transfer portal. But the big thing is, Wes, is the obvious, right? What's the most important position on the football field, man?
Damn quarterback.
Quarterback. And Tyler Van Dyke gone. Emory
Good.
Williams hurt, but still, he's still just a freshman. He's not the championship answer next year, right? Like I would say. So you need a quarterback right now. They're thinking about Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a dual threat quarterback out of Washington State. I think they have a good chance, but a lot of other teams are trying to get him as well. USC, Washington, Ohio State, all of those teams are trying to get him as well. So it's going to be tough to get him. There's a bunch of different quarterbacks I could name right now that they could possibly get. They got Will Howard, who played at Kansas State. They got Will Rogers, who I don't really like so much, played at Mississippi State. DJ Unga Ungalale.
The one that used to play for Clemson.
He's one used to play for Clemson, and then he went to Oregon State, and then he transferred out. I'm hearing he's going to go to Florida State. Yeah, you got a couple other names out there, but the one that you want, the one that you would get excited about, the one if you see this headline on your timeline, and Cam Ward is committing to Miami, get excited about him because he has made some great plays. If you just look up his highlights on YouTube or something like that, you can get excited about him. So we'll see that. I mean, him and Will Howard, I think are probably the top two, but they are. See, this is some inside information I'm gonna give you, Wes. They are thinking about two other quarterbacks that haven't necessarily got into the portal yet. One being Michael Pratt. I don't know if you know about Michael Pratt, but Michael Pratt used to play for Deerfield Beach, and he played for Tulane. He was nominated for the top quarterback award at Tulane, led them to the Cotton Bowl last year. So could be a possibility. Never know. He could actually declare for the draft if he wanted to. And then the other option possibly is Tua's little brother. Yeah.
He's doing a lot of picks though, but
yeah, he's a little erratic. He's not as impressive as Tua was in college. But he could get better, and maybe if he's down here in South Florida with his brother, and they could start training together, and he could show him the ropes a little bit. So those are the quarterbacks that I hear that Miami is really interested in. Okay. So it really kind of depends on the quarterback because this team pretty much has everything to win. You seen last year. Miami went toe-to-toe with Florida State until the last drive, until Emory got hurt. If Emory didn't get hurt, we might drive down and win that game. That game showed me a lot. It showed me that, okay, so this team is just a quarterback away. Because if you switch quarterbacks, if Jordan Travis, the one who got hurt with the whole controversy with why Florida State's not in the playoff, if he played for us, Miami's going to the playoff. Miami's going to the playoff if they have a quarterback like that, because you saw basically it was the same team, they were playing blow for blow or whatnot, Jordan Travis, just with his experience, with his ability to run out of the pocket, accuracy, decision making, that makes a huge difference, man. That's what they're missing. And it's going to be interesting to see in this bowl game what Ja'Carri Brown got, because everybody thinks that Ja'Carri Brown is going to be transferring and he's just playing in this bowl game just to showcase his skills for another team to, offer him an NIL deal so he could leave. So, or if he plays well, maybe Miami's like, okay, well, since you play well and we don't have any other options right now, then we could trust in you. Ja'Carri Brown, if he could throw the ball well and just improves as a passer, he's that deal because he's athletic. He's really athletic, one of the fastest players on the team right now. So he can get you those yards that you need when nobody's open or where the play breaks down. You just need him to make accurate throws, and I have yet to see him really do that yet. So,
Well,
I mean, that's how I'm feeling about the Hurricanes right now. I mean, whatever questions you could ask me.
yeah, I got one real question.
Yeah, go
I got
ahead.
one real question, one big question. One big question. Um, you know, I know the homeboy got his other homeboy already. Josiah Trader is committed,
Oh,
but Kobe Young, he done left. As soon as he said he's transferring, there was one name that popped up in my head: Jeremiah Smith. Is he coming? But I want to be hopeful, but I seen him with some damn FSU gloves.
I wouldn't put too much stock in that.
Okay. That's why you here. That's why you here, because I was kind of discouraged. You feel me? I'm like, all right, Kobe left. I need to holler at Marcus. And, it doesn't work because, again, at the end of the day, we do know we have the Robbie Washingtons, the Nathaniel Josephs, and all these other individuals that's already committed that didn't get too much time on the field. Restrepo, I like you. I love you. But I think you should go to give the rest of the young players some time. If you're not going to get drafted the way that you were high in the ACC with yards, with receptions and stuff like that, then you're never going to leave. We don't need no super seniors and this, that, and the other. Like, we don't need that. I know we had our tight end that's probably like 30 years old. Cool, no problem. That was a bridge to get to where we need to go. That was probably one of the reasons that why Skinner is transferring as well. I don't know. People not getting that play time. But going back to Kobe Young transferring, like I said, I thought about Jeremiah, and I also thought about Marcus. So Marcus, can you make me feel some type of positive way today? Like, what's going on?
I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try. But it's not looking great for that to happen. I don't want you to put stock into the Florida State gloves because the state championship was in Tallahassee, and they actually practiced at Florida State. Chaminade did.
Okay.
So you know how these kids are. They get new gloves and then they put them on. Like that's doesn't necessarily mean like he's going to flip to Florida State. I'm not saying that he won't either, though, because I don't know. Well, it really kind of depends on what happens with Ohio State and that coaching staff. If that coaching staff stays intact the way it is, and they get another quarterback, like a transfer quarterback to, replace the guy that was there, who wasn't even all that, but they got a Aaron Nolan is going there as well, which he likes, and that is a big factor for him, which quarterback he's playing with. Miami, who do we have? Judd Anderson, who Jeremiah Smith didn't even know his name in an interview that we had with him at the beginning of the year. So that is kind of, hurting Miami. And Miami pushed for Chaminade's quarterback, Cedric Bailey, too late. They offered him like a month ago. Like, why? I mean, I understand because when you watch Cedric Bailey, you're like, okay, well, his mechanics is not really there yet, but he improvises very well. He makes great decisions. He's 6'4", you know what I'm saying? So, like, if you're going to take a Judd Anderson, why not take a Cedric Bailey who's at the crib? That's what all Hurricanes would say, and that's what I would say as well. Good kid. I speak to him all the time. Not all the time, but the times that I've spoken to him, I'm like, okay, this is a kid that is a winner. I mean, I think he's maybe lost 2 games in his entire life. You know what I'm saying? He played for the Miami Gardens Ravens U team, which won, I believe, the national championship, and then goes to Chaminade, wins multiple championships. Just won another one last week, beating a team 56-0 in the championship game, which is crazy. So yeah, the fact that and then with him, he came out and said, I'm locked in with NC State. He was already committed to NC State. And then Miami, offered him. And from what I heard or understood is that Cedric Bailey basically called Miami and was like, why haven't y'all offered me? you know?
Mm.
So obviously he felt some kind of way. And there's every reason to feel some kind of way when Zaquan Patterson is going to Miami, JoJo's going to Miami. You know what I'm saying? You've talked to Bullet a little bit about coming to Miami. You've talked to other players down the line, Denarius Gray, and other players that in future classes, CJ Ewald, the DB that they want from Chaminade. Yet you don't offer the quarterback who's been kind of orchestrating this whole thing. So yeah, so he went out and posted, I'm locked in with NC State. So I don't think that's a go for Miami. I think there's a possibility that he could flip to Florida State, but I think it's 80% that he stays with Ohio State, maybe 20%. Nah, maybe less than that. I would say maybe there's a 15% chance that he could flip to Miami, and a 20% chance that my math is all wrong, but I think maybe a 20% chance that he flips to Florida State. And I think Miami is like, I don't know. I think what's hurting them is a couple of things. Is the fact that they had a 7-5 season last year. They don't have a quarterback right now you can trust. Like, who you can trust? They about to throw Jakari Brown out there, bro, for a bowl game. Like, who technically got beat out by Emory Williams this season. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as the 2024 recruiting class, Judd Anderson, who he doesn't really even know. I think those are the factors, and the fact that Ohio State steadily putting a wide receiver in the NFL. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the next one, and his other buddy Brandon Ennis, who they play 7-on-7 with, is up there at Ohio State as well. So yeah, it's just not looking good for that situation. I'd love to tell you, that it's going to happen, but I wouldn't bet on it at this point.
All right, then since I'm just gonna say like he not coming, I'm gonna take that out of my brain. Do we have anybody that's around that 6'5", 6'4" height right now? Because again, everybody that I know is like slot receivers. Yeah, slot receivers. People that's on the Miami Hurricanes right now, the ones that I do recognize their names, they're not that tall.
Isaiah Horton is your biggest receiver. Isaiah Horton.
How tall?
I think he's 6'4".
Okay.
6'4". Yeah. So he's like your biggest receiver. He's not as tall as Kobe Young, which I think was 6'5". Jeremiah Smith is 6'3". So yeah, he's gonna be your biggest receiver. Hopefully he can step up and make some plays. I mean, this receiving class is crazy. I mean, like, to have JoJo, Chance Robinson, who I love, and Nye Carr, Nye Carr's the deal, bro. Like, Nye Carr, I know he's not from Florida, he's from Georgia, but if you ever get a chance to watch his tape, you're like, okay, he's like how Ray looked in high school, like that fast and just explosive. So the fact that you got Ray coming back, you got Robbie coming back, and I kind of agree with you about X. I think X is not going to get any better than what he is, I think, and then the fact that Tyler Van Dyke, his buddy, roommate, who, was always throwing to him, is now gone. I think Xavier Restrepo has a chance to get drafted late, in the game or make a team undrafted. So I love X too, man. I mean, obviously I've covered him all through high school and now in college. He's just a dog. He's a great person, great family. Talked to his dad and his mom before. He's a great kid, true Miami Hurricane, basically another Braxton Berrios. I mean, I feel great every time I see Braxton Berrios out there making plays. So it'd be a similar situation. But I agree. I think he has kind of plateaued at this point. I don't see him getting any better than he is. I think he showed enough on tape, college-wise, that he can get on an NFL team. and then let these young guys come in and really, see what they could do.
All right. So we have that. So yeah, you don't have anything else? I mean, we kind of covered like.
I did kind of want to talk of like an off-topic NFL topic. That whole Chiefs Bills game, bro. Did you watch that shit?
Yeah, I seen that shit.